So you want to have a bewitching aura. You want to create a look that feels witchy and dark, but also kind of light, airy, and magical at the same time. Well, you're in the right place because that's the look I'm going to be exploring today. I'm going to do a makeup look, my hair, and shop my closet to see what I can create with items I already have. And if you're new here, the Bewitching Aura is part of my Ethereal Style guide, which is a system I created to help you take more magical and otherworldly, essentially feelings and energies and turn them into wearable outfits. So definitely check out my video looking at all the auras if you're interested. I'll link it down below, as well as the style guide, which you can pick up and, help support the channel if you want to purchase that. All right, the Bewitching Aura. Let's get into what this entails and what I'm going to be exploring today. The Bewitching Aura, I like to call the dark sister of the other ethereal auras. So it kind of takes elements of all of them, but gives them a darker, more mysterious, kind of esoteric feel. With the clothing lines, you're going to look at things that are cascading and flowy. And even though you might be using, darker colors, even heavier materials, you still want to find ways to create openness in the outfit. So think of maybe open necklines, a little bit of waist emphasis. Nothing's ever too heavy. You can layer items and accessories for a little bit more of an eclectic feel. For makeup, earthy or jewel tones, muted but deep shades, and it's nice to kind of emphasize any contours or hollows in the face, even your under eyes. And then a little bit of shimmer can be quite nice. Hair, a bit wild, messy, coarse, half up, just kind of like thrown together feel. Layers, textured bangs. So what I'm going to do today is go right into the makeup look. I've already got my foundation and brows on, so we can get, right into the colors, and then try and do something with my hair, and then, shop my closet. Let's see what I can create. I've got a lot of black that I'm slowly trying to expand my wardrobe for more colors, but I think I got some things for this look. So let's get into it. When I applied my foundation, I made sure to not cover up the under eyes too much. I think they're looking a little bright today for some reason, but sometimes they can look quite dark. So sometimes with these looks, I do recommend keeping those under eyes. So what I'm gonna do is start with some contour. I'm taking from Rituel de Fille. This is the shade Intuition. I know a lot of very cool tone folks appreciate the shades Rituel de Fille puts out because they are like truly gray and cool. So I'm gonna start lower on the face and place the pigment there before blending up. I want to create like a little bit of like a gaunt look. I'm not gaunt at all. Look at these cheeks. But, such that when I'm kind of at rest, like it does look like there's this, more dimension and sunkenness to the face. Does that make sense? And if you ever apply contour and it kind of looks like a line at first, just wait until you apply the blush and other elements of the look before, deciding whether it looks off. I'm going to try something a little new today because I normally take my bronzer and put it here. I'm going to kind of start lower and just blend a little bit of this even under the eye a bit, creating another hollow. Yeah, I kind of like that. I also think that when you're working with the Bewitching Aura, it's okay for things to be a little bit messy and lived in, so don't think about being, too precise with anything. There's a little bit of a grungy element to this. Taking Moth from Rituel de Fille, and guys, I'm pretty sure that this is part of their permanent collection now. This is a blush shade that was originally limited edition, but I think people loved it so much. Like every time I check their website, it seems to be in stock now. I love this shade. It looks a little odd now because I haven't blended it, but just putting it right kind of above that contour. I like to bring a little bit of life to the skin, but if you wanted to skip blush and stay with the really cool contour, you totally could. But this is just such a lovely shade when you want more of those muddy blush tones. For the eyes, I'm gonna try out some cream products. I'm much more of a eyeshadow type of gal, but what I like about cream products is sometimes they do, lean into that lived in, grungy sort of vibe that I mentioned. I have from KJH brand, they put out these contour sticks. I've been using them on my lips, but you can use them on your entire face. I'm gonna start out with the shade Chisel. Just I think it's like their second lightest. And I'm gonna just see what it looks like to start to add really essentially like shading into the eye that is a tone that looks like it could be a natural kind of hollow. From what I understand, Katie Jane Hughes, who created these products, created these tones to like help you sculpt. And they're like very precise in that they're smaller and you can, you know, add little bits of contour to your face. Like if you like to do a nose contour, just for example, I don't normally do that, but you know, you can just put that little bit right there, rather than using a big stick that's hard to get precise with. So I'm taking this, smudging it here, smudging it here. You can definitely smudge this out actually quite nicely. You know what? I have an idea. I'm gonna put this all over the lid, actually. Little wash of taupey gray on the lids. And then I'm gonna go a step deeper with the shade Engrave, and that's where I'm gonna do more of that precise part of the eye. And then taking, yeah, this smaller brush and I kind of love how easy this is. Just to build up a little, smudge out. If you kind of overdo it, you can definitely like take it back. Very interesting. All right, before I go too deep, what I want to do is take from Rituel de Fille. This is one of their crystalline matter eye sets in Moonstone. So this is where I'm bringing in, you know, a lighter, more ethereal element. This is like a pale, what do we want to call this? Silvery lavender. I like to take this on the back of my hand because the formula is kind of flaky. This kind of smudges it out. Ooh, look at that reflect. I'm gonna take that on the lid. I always feel like purples and lavenders have a little bit of this mystical feel. And then just to add that little bit of extra depth, I will take from Rituel de Fille their Black Orb liner that's a black, but this like smudges out so easily. It's similar to the KJH sticks in that they're like smudgy. So just that little extra depth right there. This is the shade Chisel again. Still a little smudgier here, I think. Okay, I'm loving this. I'm gonna pop off camera to put some mascara on and maybe something in the waterline. It's been a while. I had an eye infection, but maybe I'm in the safe zone now. And then we'll do the lips, think about hair, think about an outfit. So I did end up putting something in the waterline that's Urban Decay Cool Coyote. I really like this one in the waterline because sometimes with darker waterlines, I find it will close off my eye, but this one kind of gives that perfect little bit of grunginess without like going super dark. It really blended in with the shades I was using around my eye. Went in for a black lengthening mascara and just kind of didn't think too much about it. Just kind of messy, not perfect. Sometimes I'll spend a lot of time on my mascara, but for this look, I think just coming back again and again to that lived in little bit of grunginess. That's what gives it like a more raw, natural quality. With the Ethereal Aura, it's just always coming back to like natural elements. Even when you're kind of skewing away from it, just having those little elements. Did that make sense? Okay, for the lips, I think I want to make use of these again. Probably not a good idea to go from lips and then to your eyes, but I went from eyes to lips, so I think we're in the clear. I'm gonna take, I think the darkest shade that I have here, Engrave, as the lip liner. I just like the idea of keeping it with the kind of grayed out, wishy-washy tones. See how easy and blendable that is? Maybe a bit of etch at the center of the lip. I think that's a really pretty color. Kind of perfect for this look. I'm just gonna take a brightening powder to set down and, you know, brighten a little bit at the center of the face here and kind of blend everything together too on the complexion. Yeah, okay. Let's think about hair. So I was thinking something half up. I'm on 3-day hair, which for someone with very fine hair is the day I wash. I don't go more than 2 days, but I figured I'd keep the texture and maybe even texturize it up more. Honestly, this kind of works, but let's see if I try and do something like this, but half up. Let's take it all out first. You can see my very greasy 3-day hair. I'm gonna take this texturizing spray and really get it right here at the root, especially because 3-day hair. And then I don't want to think too much about this. You know how you make the best hair styles when you don't think about it or look in the mirror? What's up with that? Okay, so I'm gonna try and do half up, but like messy. Don't look, don't look. Like perfectly messy though, you know? And then a bit of a bun here. Okay, kind of like this. I don't know. I also did like the full bun, but this kind of has a little bit of half-half. You get the thrown up bun and then the length of the hair. Okay, I'm gonna leave it for now. We'll see if I change my mind. And let's take a look at my closet. I'll film some shots of me trying some outfits and talk through what I feel is working, what I feel might not be, to really complement this makeup look and this hair and create something a little witchy, but again, a little light too. All right, I just went and did a little bit of a journey looking at my wardrobe. Had to take my hair out, guys, because it just hurts. This is why I always wear my hair down, just so you know. Someone with fine hair, I don't know what it is, but like, ow, I can't really wear my hair up. Anyway, in case you're wondering, I still think it looked cute. So the first thing I did was go into my closet and take out any item really that I felt like fit into the parameters of the Bewitching Aura. So dark colors, flowy, light. And then I just kind of experimented putting things together. And some things I found I liked more than others. To be honest, I'm currently in a place where I'm trying to move away from these styles a little bit because sometimes I find they look a little too weighed down for me. However, this journey was interesting because I started to discover ways that I really liked to integrate this aura for my body and for my current style. And as I started to experiment more, I found like I got more styles that felt like something I might throw on if I was, this is so specific, but going on a Sunday to grab a coffee or go to a farmer's market, you know, and like just have this feeling like I really threw it on, but it does have this aura of like, in your downtime, are you maybe like reading tarot cards, you know? There's a couple outfits in particular I found I really liked. This long skirt I've had forever, and I think the key with it, I have it on right now, is that the material is so lightweight. Like it's a cotton and it's very thin. See, there's like a bit of transparency to it. And I kind of liked when I paired it with a tube top. And like whether it was like a cozy long cardigan or like a flowy piece like this, and kind of gave it a little bit more of that bohemian, a little bit eclectic feel and a little bit of the mythic aura that I love so much. There's one image in particular I ended up including in the Bewitching Aura and I was on the fence about. And it's this creator here. I'm forgetting her name, but she's amazing. I'll link her down below. And I just love this outfit on her, and something about the colors and the cut just felt like fortune teller, you know, like very womanly and sensuous, but also like there's this magical, like bewitching energy. Does that make sense? Like, so I kind of took inspiration from that. You know, I never like show my stomach because I'm insecure, as many women are taught to be. But I really kind of like this aura with that little bit more sensuality and kind of embracing my, you know, softer stomach. I thought it was really cute and kind of brought something out in my own kind of feelings and style journey that I didn't really expect. And maybe that's kind of one way I might wear these darker styles, just a little bit more, well, one, broken up instead of one long line. You know, I feel like that sometimes drags me down. I kind of like it was broken up and just felt like I threw it together and everything was really light and airy. And that's what I like to emphasize with this Bewitching Aura, just keeping those elements that stop it from feeling too weighed down. My friend gave me this vintage nightgown, and there's elements of this I really liked. I really liked the cut and the detailing of the lace. I thought that was really cute. Maybe a little bit too long and dark, but there's some elements of this that I felt like I liked. One clothing item I didn't really like, it was kind of giving pirate and felt a bit too billowy for me. I was really liking those moments where it just felt like, I just threw this on and in my downtime I am a witch, you know? So yeah, I felt like I really learned a lot in this process. So this is my second aura. I've tried out clothing styles and I'm just really liking what it brings out and what I learn each time when I just like start to pair things together. You might have this moment of frustration. You're like, nothing works. But then you kind of put a couple things in, you adjust the cut, you know, where things are landing, and it's like, I like this. So anyway, I really want to encourage you all, whether you're exploring the Bewitching Aura, another ethereal style, or anything really, look at your wardrobe first. Really assess what you're liking and what you're not liking and why, okay? I really learned a lot today, actually. This was a really fun exploration. I'm going to drop my Ethereal Style guide down below where you can pick it up, and it really helps support me and the channel if you want to purchase that. There's all the 4 auras. There's a bit of writing in there. There's descriptions of clothing, makeup, hair styles, and yeah, I put a lot of work into it. So anyway, that's it for today. Toasty! Let's take it away. He just sat there watching me try on these clothes, throwing items everywhere, and then I just picked him up he was on the couch and he was just buried in all the clothes. Very cute boy. All right, friends, thanks so much for sticking it out until the end. I hope you enjoyed this exploration and some of these videos that I'm starting to delve into clothing. It's been fun for me. Still trying to figure out the setup, but yeah, I don't know. The thing with anything new is you just gotta do it, right? All right, until next time, may you all find yourselves a little bit of bewitching aura, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, witches.